Hello and welcome, everybody. My name is Dawn Campbell. I am your host for this third in a four-part series of excellent masterclasses about mentoring today, celebrating National Mentoring Day. It's its 9th birthday. Can you believe it already? So it's a fantastic opportunity for us to thank all those mentors who have influenced and helped and supported us in our professional and our personal lives. So in the hot seat today, right now, I have Eric. Welcome, Eric.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Really looking forward to your talk. So let me introduce Eric to you properly. Eric is an IAPC&M coach and mentor at the highest possible level. And he started out his career as a chef. And we all know what a hard-working industry the hospitality industry is. So it's probably no surprise that Eric had some health issues, which completely had to change his mindset about the way that he did things. He's passionate about helping and supporting others, and the hospitality industry is a great place to do that. Lots of young people coming into the industry all the time. And he's a successful entrepreneur in his own right, passionate about education and CPD, and specializes in helping people reset their mindset from burnout to happiness and healthy. Now, as you know, I always love to find out something a bit personal, something perhaps not so well known about our guest speakers. And I happen to be an English person living in France, very near to where Eric was born. And Eric is a Frenchman living in England. So we've probably got very similar weather, though. It's absolutely pouring down.
I've got beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. So Eric is never happier than when he's playing with engines, and the bigger the better. Not surprising for somebody who lived near Le Mans, classic car racing track. And you can often find him getting grounded, as we all like to do, out in nature with a camera and his boys. So I'm really intrigued about your topic, tomorrow's too late. We often hear, oh, it's never too late. But actually, Eric, you know better than some that, yes, it can be too late. So I'm going to hand over to you now and let you take over, please.
Excellent. Thank you very much for this introduction. Yes, it's never too late. It can be too late. And in here, it's too late for me some 7 years ago. So welcome, everybody. My presentation basically that's an introduction to talk to you a little bit of CAM and why, I deserve here today to talk to you about mentoring. I'm not going to talk to you about mentoring, okay? And why tomorrow is fate. Why wait when you can do something today about more to the point? And it doesn't matter if you're a mentor or if you look for a mentor. I do believe these presentations going to bring some clarity to you and being able to forward. Also, because it was on the introduction, I went for burnout and had to rewire my mind over a period of time. We're going to talk about your why you do what you do, and what's your action plan, and what's your timeline. Because three elements are key to a very good and prosperous life. In order to achieve what you want to achieve, you want to achieve it. And it's all on your term. It's nobody else's term. With no further ado, I'm going to give you a action time. If you wish to scan with your mobile phone that code, going to take you to an app, and it's going to basically ask you a question, which I would like you to answer. You can put up 3 answers, and answers are to come up here. So as you're getting engaged with this, we can see what's happening what people think, what is mentor actually is a spelling mistake here. Oh, that's very bad. Means to you. Okay. So if we talk about mentorship, I'm going to give you about 90 seconds to put some answers here, and I hope we've got people on which are already jumping on their mobile phone. And if I need to put the QR code, here is, so you scan that QR code and take it from there. And what you think, what does mentorship mean to you? Okay, so I'm waiting for some response. Not much coming in. So we have do you need the QR back?
So Vesna has sent in her response: relationship
Relationship.
where a senior is helping a junior.
Yeah. Okay. Well, 30 seconds are gone anyway. We are going to more work now. And basically, this is what Steven Spielberg suggests about mentorship, which is not creating itself into somebody else, but is to give an opportunity to somebody to actually create themselves, help them see what they cannot see yet. The definition of mentorship and the way I work with my clients. Here we are. So that is my definition, okay? It's all about supporting career professionally on. So it was very good about supporting the youngster by the senior, okay? And as you can see, is 5 years to it. And we are going to work through these years and explain a little bit more how and why this therapy, how that do actually link about it's too late. So if we're looking at them one by one, we've got the support, we've got the teaching, sponsorship, invention, and critique. Now, the last one, the most important one, where we are going to have to make sure we are going to be able to take the critique, and I'm going to explain how to be able to take the critique in detail. Thank you very much for the somebody definition. So, the support. First of all, your mentor should inspire you. When you choose a mentor, when you take on, because it's a system, it's not what is coming to you, it's going to tell you how things are and how to develop. If you don't connect with that person, it's not going to happen. Okay, so you choose your mentor quite wisely. Like a mentor, choose quite wisely because we can't work with everybody. It's not possible. We will everybody love everybody, and we only got friends in life, but it doesn't work that way. So you got to take time to find your mentor. Somebody going to hear you. Somebody who's going to invest time with you. Because if you only have a mentor who's going to be accessible between 10 and 12 Wednesday, that's good. That's not good. You've got to have somebody where you know you can offer a text and you're going to have something back, or you can send an email or pick up the phone. And that person will be able to invest in you. That is very important because it does take time. That's the support you'd expect from your mentor. Okay. And if you're a mentor, that's what you're supposed to be doing and giving to your mentee. So that's the first tier of the, if you're able to inspire somebody, don't work with that person. Take that person on, because it's not going to work. The teaching. Okay, so a month is going to have an element of teaching, bringing a new set to you. It's going to be the difference between a mentor and a coach. A coach will give some guidelines, come up with your answer on your own. But if you're going to have a mentor is going to bring something, it's going to expand your skill set, it's going to expand your knowledge. You've got that month for, okay? You're going to learn something new. If you don't, what's the point? And that's what you've got to ask yourself. Learning anything, why should I be listening to that person? And you've got to be able to question, okay? You've got to question the why and the how. Why is this that way? Why is this working? And you're able to give you feedback, should be able to explain to you and take you to that further, because this is what it's all about building blocks in order to move forward. A mentor, sponsor, he should be able to open some doors and create some opportunity for you. Okay, I'm developing as that level of skill is being embedded, moving forward with new habits and everything. You should be able to have the next. If we are talking at it professionally, maybe your mentor is going to know somebody who benefit from your new skill set, and open door, maybe engage that message. Likewise, we're talking about and people who reverse their mind, all about give the right recommendation to people in order to have to access the right product that are going to support their development and their job. Okay, or again, mentorship is just a bit more than just being a mentor and having a cup of coffee. Intervention. This is where we are coming, and this is where it's a little bit, shall we say, become a little bit challenging for both parts if we have that relation and that was being built from the onset. Okay, your mentor should be able to address and fix. Okay, something's not working for whatever reason, that they are going to come and say, do it that way. Let's use that app, or let's use the program and see how we go. Your mentor should be able to go and gather feedback, especially if he's opened a door for you, or he has, or she opened a door for you. You should be able to go and gather some feedback and identify issues. Where are we basically lacking? What is the problem? Where we've got to reinforce, where we've got to work a little deeper and question a bit. Okay. And the last part of the year, and that's maybe time the most difficult one, but the most important one. They should be able to tell you hard stuff, tell you what you may not want to hear, but it's got to be done, because without it, you're not going to move forward. You're not going to develop. And is always going to be a block somewhere. It's not about criticizing, and it might be the wrong word, but it is ultimately about giving some recommendation on how to improve, giving some little steps there. And maybe sometimes we've got to rewind, we say, taking back one step forward. And sometimes we've got to rewind and address, maybe we're not the right path, or the skill we have are not complement what we want. So therefore, we've got to look at, is how we can take on hard stuff, and us as mentor and coach can deliver hard stuff and to give some recommendation on how to improve. When I had my little issues years ago, the person talking to me, my consultant at the time, he told me the stuff. He said to me, if I wasn't going to change my habits, I will not see my 50th. That to swallow an hospital bed and you're 47. It was easy for him to say, but he knew to shock me. And basically, the foundation, he said to me, he's a workaholic. So if you don't change the way you watch life and work, is not going to change. That's what you've got to do. And that's what happened to me 30 years ago. Well, you know, I'm still thinking about it now, and I'm thinking, wow, it's a bit harsh here. But this is what he did. I'm 54, by the way. So I've seen my 50, you know, I'm 10 healthy, but that I needed. That was a wake up. Okay. Mentors, the way of things more of our fault than we would like. Okay. They are going to ping-pong the bits and you don't want to hear. So of course, we are all the best things since life. We are all superb. We are all, you know, we excel at everything we do. Well, sometimes we need to wake up. And that's what a mentor is going to do in a nice way, maybe. But, you know, this is what we to do. You know, it's people who are looking at us, it's people we, you know, we like to follow, they inspire us and everything, but we've got to take the good, the bad, and the ugly. So now, tomorrow's too late. So my question to you, how are you feeling today? You know, if you want to chat, you know, tell me what's, you know, how are you feeling? Because I'm talking now on people which are, you know, leaders which are maybe lost their focus. They are being to burnout, they are working long hours, they are on a little hamster going nowhere fast. There's nowhere to go. And, you know, themselves in their work. Well, tomorrow's too late if you don't look at what you do today. So my first question is some time to reflect on what you want and why you want. Now, our life is our life. Nobody owns our life. So what do you want out of life? What's your why? Whatever it might be, why do you want it? Because it's very easy. If you don't know what you want, and if you don't know what you want, well, ultimately, you're not going to get there. Okay? Are you going to board a train going nowhere? When you take the train, you actually have a destination. So what is your why and why you are doing it? I hope this makes sense. Put it on a piece of paper. Take a couple of minutes. Think about it.
Mm-mm.
You don't tell me. It's your why. What you want. Establish your why, or you know you're doing it, you know why you want it, and it's for you. What step are you taking to get about it? What step, like I said earlier, if you're waiting tomorrow to do something, or may never come. We know we're here today, but we don't know what's going to happen. Step are you taking today in order to go and achieve your life. So if I go back to my burnout, what was I doing? I was working well. Why was I doing it? I was unsure. So where I ended up in hospital. Did I end up in hospital? No, I didn't end up in hospital. So the consultant talked to me and he said, you're not effective if you don't change your habit. I couldn't to take actions. Because ultimately, if I was to wait, I have been able to do something. No. I don't know if I've been here to do morning. I needed to take an action today. So my question is, if you look at your piece of paper where you put your and your, why you're doing it, because that's what you want. What are you doing today? So my answer to you is think about it for a minute. And I would like you to take one step, just one step. Okay, you don't want to take many steps, because if we do too many things in one go, we achieve things. Here is a truth, it is a fact. If you multitask, you are not going to achieve anything, because you're doing your actual action about it. You are not fully immersed on what you do. So just select something, just what it might be, and take of doing it. Because you can write it onto a piece of paper, and in the end of the day, you're going to be able to cross it off. And that's the magic part of it. Tomorrow, you'll have another step, and you'll work exactly with the same principle. You will work it, you will leave it, and you will cross it. One at a time. Or not. If say anybody read Atomic Habits, he talk about 1%. Try to today 1% better than you were yesterday. Doesn't sound much, okay? But if you put 1% forward, you're 165% better than you were the year before. An accumulation of doing one thing at a time manifests itself. But it's got to take an action today, because tomorrow it's too late. You've lost that 1%. You've lost that one. I hope that makes any sense to you. So that was the plan of action. Now we're going to look at, if I can move, here we are, the timeline. The timeline. Okay? Everything and anything you do takes time. Simple as. Anything we do takes time. Okay? You're making a sandwich, it'll take time. You take the dog out for a walk, it takes time. So if you need to invest in yourself in order to avoid the burnout, in order to change your habit, my program, Mindfulness, takes time. I run it over 2 weeks, because I know 2 weeks is a bare minimum with clients in order to mindset. I can't change the mindset in 45 minutes. I give you something to think, but you're not going to change anything, because it takes time, okay? More so, what you must do, one thing people do a lot of, they beat themselves, because they've got list, which is got one thing in their list. got 20. Okay? Because they've only achieved 4, oh, achieve as much as I want to do. Oh, every day, where is the desk gone? You know, by the time you think about it, it's 6 o'clock. You look at this and you're thinking, oh my God, where am I? Why I haven't done anything? So my start is very easy. Your list become a weekly planner. I'll explain. You've got a weekly planner. There are the things you've got to do. Okay? You've got to feed family, if you got family, or the dog if you got a dog. Okay? You've got to walk, yeah? You've got designing, you've got to do the washing. These things you go shopping, it's things you got to do. Okay? So it's non-negotiable. You know, this is what we will call the chore, say. You've got to do that. So you put that into the week, not into the day. You put that into the week. And you don't put any times to it. You don't say, I'm going to shopping at 3:30 on Friday afternoon. No. You put Friday, fall. Okay? So put all the kind of things which are non-negotiable to work, for example. Yeah. So you put that in. After, you can put that in color. They've got to be done. On another color, you put the deadline. Gas, pay the electricity, is the neighbor, phone mom. Now, this kind of things which have got to be done while you got the deadlines, everything. Okay, you put in another color. Again, except if it's a bill on the 27th, which is today, make sure you put it, yeah? But what I'm saying is, you put it in a week. Okay? So you put everything like this in a week, and after you put the thing you like to do. Go for a glass of wine with your mate. That's not a troll. Okay? It's that thing which it would be nice. But maybe to be a cup of coffee on the phone and a catch up because you haven't got time to do wine and whatever, and that's fine. But you put everything in a week. So if you put this thing in a week and don't put any time to it, if it doesn't happen today, it can move to tomorrow. See where I'm coming from? Yesterday, I should have one of these boring stuff. Okay. Yesterday, I did a Zoomer because I was. I'm not going to Zoomer today because I haven't got time. However, I've got some time tomorrow afternoon where I haven't got. And yes, I sit on the sofa and Netflix, you know, or wherever. But what I'm going to do is I've moved my which take about 45 minutes. I moved from yesterday to tomorrow afternoon. So I didn't myself up because of the Hoover yesterday. You know, it's fine. It's going to be done tomorrow afternoon. Okay? You see where the week planner can work nicely. So if you got that, you're taking away an element of stress. Okay? Because of the stress, what's going to take you to the verdict. Because we are connecting the time. Because always got something to do. We are always in a hurry. So instead of looking at it as a daily task, a list, okay, look at it as a weekly. You've got the non-negotiable, you know, the chores and whatever. You've got the things which have got to be done by your people, and after you've got wish list, like an holiday. Okay? And that's it. Simple as. So that's we're looking at it when I say tomorrow's is ultimately we can all achieve what we want to achieve, but we've got to take a step today about it. But if we haven't done something today, for whatever reason, okay, it's not about beating ourselves up and being anxious about it and being stressed out. Okay? You know, we should do a nice, decent night's sleep. Before my stroke, in a hospital, sleeping an hour a night. I was a switch off. I was always thinking. That's why my head stayed up, because I didn't have that downtime. So I needed to find stages in order to get that done. Well, a weekly planner worked well for me, because when it's on my planner, I have to think about it. Ultimately, it's there. It's black and white. I print it, I put it in the fridge, and I've always got a laptop as well. But ultimately, it's there. It's black and white, and that's it. You know, so be it. I don't do it today, tomorrow. But you've got to take that. Does it make sense for you? And here we are, you see, with a little bit of help with your mentor. Yeah. Oh, you can achieve. Everybody can achieve. We can all achieve. So, if you like it, if you want more, if it resonates with you, if you think we can connect in some ways, you know, I'm here. I'm here, you know, details. And now I think I to take some Q&A. I don't know how I fit with time.
You've done very well time-wise, Eric. Absolutely, very succinct. So thank you. And
You're
obviously
welcome.
this is going live on Facebook and LinkedIn. So Rhea will send me any questions if they come through there. But Vesna, would you like to or what, if anything, would you like to say or ask?
Thank you very much, Eric. I enjoyed the presentation. I agreed and actually supporting this, what I heard. I also have my red, not black, but red notes book. So I'm working on weekly planning, and if I do not, I miss some time. I'm really missing this. So I agree that it is important. People are not doing that, and if we support them as a mentor or a coach, this absolutely help. This is my experience. If you can share maybe also some of your experience, what actually, in which areas are you supporting people the most?
At present, I'm working a lot with leaders, okay, because people which are very busy. What I found with leaders, they are perfectionists and they are workaholic. So they is a type of people which resonate very much with what I used to be. Well, I'm still a perfectionist and I'm still a workaholic, but I've managed to detach myself from working 8 hours. As you know, I was a chef from an early life, so long day, 16 hours a day. It's a you know, it's a given. You know,
It's
when you
brutal.
start, you never know when you finish. And we basically, so it became common for me when I went to corporate world. It became common for me to work long hours, to be at decks at 6 o'clock in the morning, and to be working until 10 o'clock at night with no breaks. And a lot of leaders, many leaders, people I get to work with, which are basically sort of middle age, 40 plus to 60, 65. Very successful in their work, but they've lost their purpose because they've buried themselves and they're running themselves to a small, basically a small trap of heart disease, stroke, because they are stressed, very stressed. So what I do with people is I try to work with them in order to elevate that stress, to find some solution, to say, well, okay, what can we do in order to reduce that level of stress and makes your life better. And also, well, my question, like the question I have today to you, is why? What's your why? What are you doing what you do? what do you want to achieve? Because some people, they are going to say, well, it's all materialistic, and they're completely lost. They're completely far away from what they wanted to do. I say, if you can rewind and say, let's say you're 20, 25 now, what did you want to do when you were that age? Did you want to be working 80 hours a week? Was that you? No, it wasn't. Do you really need to have that Range Rover on a drive and a 10-bedroom house with 25 acres of land? Doing the garden. You're not, you're paying somebody to do the gardening. So what's the purpose? What are you doing it for? And we start, when you start scratching slowly and you start to uncover, you can see, and it resonates a lot with many, many, many people, and what you can see is that they've lost their purpose, they've lost their, they've lost their feel life and everything. So what we try to do is to try to unpick that and to embed some new positive habit and reward the mind, which take time.
And of course,
Yeah, actually,
entrepreneurs, we're all in a similar situation. We've never worked so hard on our own businesses. People think when they become entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, it's all about control, etc. But they don't really realize they're never going to work harder in their life than they do right now. And that stress builds as well. Sorry, Vesna, I talked over you. Apologies.
That's all right. But
I was touched with what. Sorry.
So again.
I was touched with this, what you were saying, because it happened also in one period of my life that actually this why was lost when we were young. When we start to work, we know what is the why, and this is driving us. We can go through hard time. We can do things what we do not like just because of this why, and we remember what is this why. Unfortunately, in one period of our lives, we forget this, and the purpose become 24/7 working, push targets, KPIs, from above, from bottom, clients, people like this, and we somehow, I don't know, enjoy in success that we can maneuver with all of this, like octopuses, whatever, and then this why disappeared, and I don't know. Something has to happen that we actually start to ask ourselves, what is the why? So what was what happened to these leaders that came to you and that they understood and found out that they need help, external help, to show them and answer the question, what is their why?
Yeah, they didn't come to is their PA who actually told them, you've got to do something because this is not going well. Their PA could actually identify that, they lost, there are little traits, of people going through burnout, they become more isolated. They become a bit more cynical about life. There's a lot of traits which you can look at. And basically what I'm trying, because nobody's going to admit they've got a problem, because we are indestructible. We'll take the world, we'll fight it, it happened to somebody else, it never happens to you. It never happens to me. I'm fine, no problem, So it's not too much people who are coming to me because they need help. Is people who are next to them who actually identify and say, my boss is, I can see what's happening, and I can identify what you're talking about. And ultimately, I think he's supposed to be. So ultimately, they're putting it, and these PAs or these HR managers, leaders, they say, okay, can we make an appointment and have an hour, and I call it a coffee talk. So the coffee talk is I've got my cup of coffee or whatever, you know, and half hour, and we have a little chat and everything, and we start to discuss, you know, the reason, you know. So for and to find out what's the why, you see. Me, my why was easy. When I was 20, I say I want to retire when I'm 55. Okay. And at 55, I'm going to work like mad. And at 55, I'm going to take my money and I'm going to enjoy my life, you know. And maybe I was working a little too hard and I nearly never get there. And, you know, that's the thing. But, you know, I'm pleased now, you know, I'm 54 and next year I'm going to be able to retire. And this is great. I've achieved the why I had 30 years ago. But I nearly maybe, you know, but, you know, when I was on that hospital bed and that person was talking to me, I was thinking about my two kids. And 47 is a bit early to go, you know. And when you're speaking to a leader, to a client, to somebody who's, you know, is looking at you and is gray, you know, because there's no life left in him, you know, or her, you've got to think, you know, something is quite right here. And we've got to sort it out before, you know, you talking, going to hospital or having to go see a doctor or you're in E&E or whatever, because this is where you're going. And we're going back to, and I was thinking about what's the mentor, you've got this harsh with people. You've got to be able to say, is something there? You know, I'm not a professional doctor, I'm not anything like that, but I can tell you something's not right. And after you do something about it or you don't, but don't say you haven't been told. And some people bury themselves in a song, you know, and suddenly 6 months later, they come to you and you say, oh, hi, how are you? Oh, so yeah, you know, I've got high blood pressure. They've put me on this tablet. So maybe I should have listened to you when we spoke. What'd you say? You know what I mean? You know, and that's what I'm saying. Tomorrow's too late. If the symptom, you know, if the signs are there, don't ignore them because it's not going to go away. It's not going to be a magic wand coming in and taking them away. If the problem is there, you know, if you don't change something, how would you expect something to change if you're doing the same thing? It won't. You've got to change something in order to get a different result. Does that bring clarity?
Very powerful wake-up call. I mean, hopefully this masterclass that we don't know how many thousands of people it will reach, but it will be a wake-up call and potentially save lives, Eric. You know, you having the courage as a mentor to share your personal story is a reminder to all of us. As I said, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, you know, we all work incredibly hard. We're very focused. We know our why initially, but then somehow we get lost in some sort of Groundhog Day where it becomes a slog and we lose our identity, our passion for life outside of work, which is why when I'm interviewing people, I always ask what fills you with joy outside of work. And it's amazing how many people will still answer work. But, you know, we have more than one purpose in life. And your message is so, so powerful in reminding us of that. And I like your weekly planner idea that you don't have to put times onto things, because that kind of sets us up for failure on a regular basis. I didn't make it. And we've got enough going on. But just to have a look at the week and think, okay, these are the non-negotiables. And as Patience said in the call before you, Eric, celebrate your successes, no matter how small. Keep patting yourself on the back. And even that releases stress, doesn't it?
Yes, yes. Well, the thing is, if you're doing something, you know, and you're not acknowledging the achievement, you're basically, why are you doing it for? We go back to the we back to the why. You know,
Yeah.
if you're going to achieve something, whatever, a project or whatever, or, you know, going up the ladder in on a, if you're not going to just acknowledge it and mark that by whatever, can be a dinner out, can be a glass of wine, can be, you know, or going to the gym, or, you know, if you don't make it, you don't know why you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're going back to, you know, that loss of purpose, that lost, you know, you're just on a treadmill. Okay, well, I've achieved that, so I'm going to the next thing, and I'm going to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Mm-hmm.
where we go, you know, my analogy of the hamster
Mm-hmm.
going on
Yeah.
that wheel. You're just
Yeah.
turning around, you're just going in, you know, and you become a robot. You're not a
Mm-hmm.
human anymore. You're a robot, you know, going from one step to another, one step to another, and that's it. And, you know, you know, life's got no meaning. And it's a very, very dangerous place to be.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. Well. So I
Tomorrow's too
suppose,
late.
as we always say at the end of these masterclasses, if you were only going to do one thing differently as a result of what you've learned from today, write it down on your CPD log, because there's no point in thinking, oh, I'm going to do that change, because by the end of the week, when you think about your CPD, you'll have forgotten it. And if you don't take action within 10 minutes, you're less likely to do it. So right now, for everybody listening to this call, either on your IAPC&M CPD log, or as Eric says, grab a piece of paper, just take 1 minute right now in silence and think, what are you going to do differently as a result to listening to Eric, who showed a great deal of courage. And courage was one of the qualities of a good mentor, our previous speaker said. So thank you for being honest and sharing that. So 1 minute now, just to think on our CPD, what are we going to do differently?
Top of writing it down, a powerful thing to do, I think, would be to actually share with somebody, a loved one, a close person, a best friend, or whatever, because these people are going to keep you accountable for it. Because if you say, oh, I'm going to do this, and you don't tell anybody, if you don't do it, it doesn't mean anything. But if you send a quick WhatsApp, and I've been on that call, I've been asked to do something, this is what I'm doing, by when, now you're accountable for it. Because that person should come back and say, oh, how did he go?
Exactly. There's a statistic out there that says something like, if you think about making a change, you're 10% likely to achieve it. If you think about making a change and you create a plan, you're 25% likely to achieve it. If you think about making a change, create a plan, and tell somebody, you're 65% likely to achieve it. But if you think about making a change, create a plan, tell somebody, and follow it up, then you're 95% likely to achieve it. And that's the beauty of mentoring and coaching. That's the person who will hold that space for you without judgment to help you achieve what you want to achieve and be the person that you want to be. So, yeah, I'm glad you raised that, Eric. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody got anything else they want to add before we let Eric get on with his hopefully not too busy day? We're trying to
I've got a
practice
meeting
slow and
with
living.
I've got a meeting with my mentor after.
Well, every leader needs a mentor. Okay,
We
well,
should all
thank
have a,
you.
you know,
Yeah,
everybody needs a mentor. You know,
yeah,
everybody's got a coach. If you look at the, you know, the athletes and all that, you know, they've all got coach and mentor, you know,
yeah.
because it's part of life. You know, you've got to have some guidelines of some ways, and you've got to be accountable for some of your actions. And if you haven't got that, you're missing out on something big.
Mm. Yeah, and that's not just your professional life, it's your personal life as well. And of course, you outgrow your mentors and your coaches, and different ones specialize in different things. So it's about creating this dream team who is rooting for you. So you might have more than one mentor.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody, for your participation, your questions, and thank you, Eric, for sharing such a deeply personal wake-up call that really drums home to us the importance of revisiting our why, so we don't get lost in the minutiae of that hamster wheel of just turning up for work or doing the same thing we did yesterday. So in an hour and just in an hour, 5 minutes, we will have our fourth and final guest, the lovely Betska in Canada. So even though it's National Mentoring Day, it's turned out to be a really international group of speakers, but that's absolutely fine. So I will see you again in an hour, and thank you again, Eric. Stay healthy and have a good session with your mentor. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.